My beloved child, I am speaking to you right now, right where you are. I see you. I have been watching you for a very long time, long before the silver began to grace your hair, and long before the lines of time began to map the extraordinary journey of your life upon your face. I know the quiet ache in your heart, the one you hide behind a gentle smile when others are around. I know the heaviness that settles in your bones when the house is finally still, and you are left alone with your thoughts, your memories, and the echoes of the years that have passed. You are in the autumn of your life, a season that the world often misunderstands, but a season that I hold in the highest, most sacred regard. I see the tears you have cried in secret, the anxieties that sometimes grip your chest in the middle of the night, and the profound exhaustion that comes not just from aging, but from carrying a very specific, invisible weight. You have often wondered why your path felt so much harder than the paths of those around you. You have asked me, in your most vulnerable moments, why you have faced so much rejection, so much misunderstanding, and sometimes outright hostility from people you only tried to love. I want to answer that for you today. You are one of my chosen ones, and the hidden cost of your anointing is the intense friction it creates with a world that is comfortable in the dark. Your light, the very spirit I placed inside of you, naturally exposes the shadows in others. When you walk into a room, your presence demands a shift. Most people run from that shift. They do not hate you, my child. They are intimidated by the divine reflection of my love and truth that emanates from your very soul. Your pure heart, your deep empathy, and your unwavering desire for goodness have made you a target in a world that often rewards selfishness. I want to completely validate your suffering right now. The pain you have endured is real. The betrayals you have survived cut deeply. The loneliness you feel, even when surrounded by family or friends, is not a figment of your imagination. It is the ache of a soul that belongs to a higher kingdom, navigating a temporary home. You have spent decades giving, pouring out your energy, your love, and your resources to help others, often leaving your own cup entirely empty. Now, in your golden years, when you should be resting, you find yourself battling anxieties about the future, about your health, about the legacy you are leaving behind, and about whether you have done enough. You look back and wonder if you made the right choices. You carry guilt for mistakes made decades ago, for words spoken in anger, for opportunities missed. Listen to my voice, and let it resonate in the deepest chambers of your heart. I release you from that guilt. I am breaking the chains of self-condemnation that have held you captive. You did the absolute best you could with the light and the understanding you had at the time. You are not defined by your past stumbles. You are defined by my unwavering love for you. The world tells you that your value diminishes as you age, that your usefulness fades as your physical strength wanes. This is a profound lie. In my eyes, your spirit has only grown more beautiful, more refined, and more powerfully resonant. You are not a burden, and you never will be. You are a living library of wisdom, a testament to survival, and a beacon of my grace. The anxieties of this third age, the fear of failing health, the grief of watching friends and loved ones pass on, the daunting reality of a changing world, are heavy. I do not minimize them. I sit with you in them. When your joints ache, I feel your discomfort. When your mind races with worry about the days to come, I am the steady presence offering to anchor you. You have carried the weight of the chosen mantle for so long, enduring the invisible spiritual battles that most people will never comprehend. You have been a warrior of light, and every warrior eventually needs to lay down their sword and rest. I am here to tell you that it is finally safe to rest. You do not need to prove your worth to me, nor to anyone else. Your very existence is a triumph. Let my compassion wash over you like a warm, healing river. Breathe deeply, my child. Inhale my peace, and exhale the decades of misunderstanding. You are not crazy for feeling isolated. You are simply anointed. The friction you have felt is proof of your calling. But now, In this sacred season of your life, I want to change the dynamic. I want to transition you from a warrior fighting the shadows to a beloved child resting in my garden. I want to tend to your wounds, the ones inflicted by a world that could not comprehend your beautiful, sensitive soul. I am here to hold you, to validate every tear, and to promise you that the pain was not in vain. You are seen, you are known, and you are cherished beyond human comprehension. Let us sit down together, just you and I, and look back at the landscape of your life. I want to gently explain to you how you arrived at this place of exhaustion, how the weight upon your shoulders grew so immensely heavy. I want to show you the anatomy of this burden, not to cause you sorrow, but to bring you clarity and understanding. Life, as you have discovered, happens with a startling, almost violent speed. Do you remember your youth? The days felt endless, painted with the vibrant colors of limitless possibility. Your heart was open, trusting, and fiercely eager to love the world. But the world, in its brokenness, is not always kind to an open heart, especially an anointed one. As the decades slipped through your fingers like sand, you began to experience the harsh realities of this earth. The 20s brought confusion and the frantic search for identity. The 30s and 40s brought the heavy, grinding stones of responsibility, building a life, raising a family, providing, surviving. The 50s and 60s brought the sudden, shocking realization of mortality, the loss of parents, the shifting of roles, and the quiet grief of dreams that had to be altered or abandoned. Through it all, without even realizing it, you began to build walls. You had to. Every time you were betrayed, you laid down a brick of self-protection. Every time your unconditional love was met with manipulation or rejection, you added mortar of skepticism. Every time you were judged or hated simply for shining your light, you built the wall a little higher. These walls were necessary for your survival. They protected your delicate, chosen spirit from being utterly crushed by the harsh winds of a cynical world. But over time, my precious child, those walls became a prison. The armor you put on to defend yourself became so heavy that it began to exhaust you just to carry it. The world and its endless, screaming demands gradually robbed you of your intrinsic peace. You became hypervigilant, always anticipating the next storm, the next conflict, the next abandonment. You took on the burdens of everyone around you, your children, your spouse, your friends, your community. Because you are deeply empathetic, because you are chosen, you absorbed their pain as if it were your own. You got lost in the doing, in the providing, in the fixing. You convinced yourself that if you just worked harder, loved harder, and sacrificed more, you could heal the brokenness around you and finally earn the peace you desperately craved. But the world is a bottomless well of need, and you are only human. The anatomy of your current weight is composed of decades of unexpressed grief, unspoken boundaries, and the relentless pressure to be strong for everyone else. You lost sight of your own need for gentleness. You forgot how to simply be. The worries of this life, financial strains, relational fractures, societal chaos, wove themselves into the very fabric of your daily thoughts, choking out the quiet whispers of my spirit. But here is the loving, reality-anchored solution I offer you today. It is time to dismantle the armor. It is time to let the walls come down. You are no longer in the battlefield of your middle years. You have crossed into the sanctuary of your elder years. The strategies that kept you alive then will only suffocate you now. I do not ask you to suddenly become naive or to expose yourself to harm, but I do ask you to shift your reliance from your own exhausted strength to my infinite power. You cannot control the world. You cannot fix every broken person you love, and you cannot turn back the clock. Accepting this reality is the first step toward profound healing. I am inviting you to practice the holy art of letting go. When a memory of a past failure rises up to torment you, I want you to literally open your hands and say, "Lord, I give this back to you." When the anxiety about your children or grandchildren tightens your chest, I want you to remember that I love them even more than you do, and they are in my hands. Your job now is not to carry the world. Your job now is to receive my love. Your purpose in this season is to be a vessel of peace, and you cannot hold peace if your hands are full of old armor and heavy stones of worry. Let us take them out, one by one. Let us examine the hurts, acknowledge them, and then gently release them into the ocean of my grace. You have spent your whole life fighting to survive. Now, I want to teach you how to finally, truly live in the freedom of surrender. Now, look directly into my eyes. Feel the warmth of my presence enveloping you, chasing away the chill of the years. We have acknowledged the pain, and we have dismantled the heavy armor. Now comes the breathtaking turn of grace. I want to offer you a profound shift in perspective, a divine solution that will transform the way you view the rest of your days. You have been measuring your life by the world's clock, a cruel, ticking mechanism that counts down, that declares your best days are behind you, and that whispers you are running out of time. But I am the creator of time, and my grace does not operate on a human stopwatch. In my kingdom, there is no such thing as too late. The world may tell you that your story is wrapping up, but I am telling you that you are just now entering the most sacred, impactful chapter of your existence. The sunset is always the most majestic and colorful part of the day. It is the masterpiece painted across the sky before the stars are revealed. Your life right now is that glorious sunset. The time you have left, whether it is a few precious days or many long, lingering years, is more than sufficient for complete redemption, profound joy, and absolute peace. One moment of my true peace can erase decades of turmoil. One instant of my grace can restore years that the locusts have eaten. Remember the promise I left for you in the scriptures. In the book of Mark, when my disciples were terrified in the midst of a raging storm, I stood up and spoke to the wind and the waves, saying, "Peace, be still." Mark 4:39. I am speaking those exact same words over the storms in your mind right now. Peace, be still. The anxieties of aging, the fear of the unknown, the regret of the past, I command them to be quiet. And remember my invitation, also recorded in Mark. Come away by yourselves to a desolate place and rest a while. Mark 6:31. This is my divine calling to you in this season. I am not calling you to more labor, more striving, or more worry. I am calling you to come away with me into a quiet place of the heart and finally rest. I want you to wake up every morning, not with a sigh of dread, but with a deep, quiet knowing that you are a chosen child of the Most High God. You are fiercely loved. You are meticulously guarded. You are fundamentally strong, not with the fleeting strength of youth, but with the enduring, indestructible strength of a spirit forged in the fires of life and secured by my hand. Nothing can touch your soul. No disease, no financial crisis, no societal collapse, and no loss can separate you from the protective shield of my love. I have assigned angels to watch over your comings and your goings. I am the shepherd who carries the older, tired sheep upon his shoulders. You do not have to walk this final stretch alone. I am carrying you. Let my grace redefine you. You are not a forgotten elder. You are a spiritual pillar. You are the salt of the earth, refined and purified. Every smile you give, every prayer you whisper for a stranger, every moment you choose joy over despair sends ripples of light through the spiritual realm. Your simply being is a powerful ministry. Do not focus on the fading of your physical vessel. Focus on the brilliant, blinding light of the eternal soul that is expanding within you. I have prepared a place for you, an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled. But until I call you home, I want you to experience heaven on earth through my peace. My beautiful chosen one, the cost of your anointing was heavy, but the reward is eternal intimacy with me. You have survived the hatred, you have navigated the wilderness, and you have kept the faith. Now, step into the glorious freedom of my rest. Let my love heal your weary bones and rejuvenate your mind. We are walking together, side by side, into the beautiful horizon of my grace. If your heart feels this truth, if you are ready to lay down the heavy mantle of the world and step into my divine peace, I want you to take a gentle action right now. Leave your burden in the comments below. Type, "I receive your peace, Lord," and let it be a sealed decree in the physical world. And please, subscribe to this channel so that we may continue to walk together, side by side, every single day. I love you, completely and eternally. Rest now, my child.